Birds frozen in midair, things disappearing and reappearing, sheep where there shouldn't be sheep. These are 10 signs that you may be experiencing a glitch in reality. The first sign that you're probably experiencing a glitch in reality is that you spot an animal completely frozen in place. Not in a video game you're playing, mind you, but while out in the so-called real world. Sounds crazy? Well, take a look at this. This video was posted to Reddit by user Upstairs Cash 8400. It's kind of unsettling, and if it were just an empty street with this bird in the sky, I wouldn't really think much of it. But what really sells it for me are the mother and son looking up at it, completely confused about what the hell they're looking at. Like, is that what I think it is? A bird just frozen in the sky? Sure, they could be part of the hoax, but if so, they do a good job at playing it off realistic and subtle. This is a very strange video, especially because all there is behind the bird is open air. It's not like it's up close to a building where you could just chalk the bird up to being a sculpture or something. It's just hovering in the air, no string, nothing. You're driving down the road and spot 2 cars whose license plates are just a little too perfect to be random. This image was posted to Reddit by Veruca Moon. One car with a plate reading peekaboo and one next to it reading I see you. Some may view this as a funny little coincidence. Others may find something slightly more ominous about it, as if the universe itself was subtly winking at the driver as if to say, someone or something is always watching you. Now, if you think, well, these 2 cars, I mean, they had to have been together. They were just messing with everyone. Well, think again. According to Veruca Moon, the cars went their separate ways at the next intersection. Anyway, whether you believe that this is a genuine case of the Matrix glitching or not, it's a pretty wild coincidence. The universe is just funny sometimes. You see 2 unrelated men who look almost identical. This image was posted by Taliscabril to the Glitch in the Matrix subreddit. 2 guys on completely different soccer teams who just happen to look like twins. Not only do they have the same hairstyle and beards, I mean that's surface level, their facial structure is also very eerily similar. And if you're thinking they're the only odd thing about this image, look closer. Yeah, that guy sitting in the back looks a lot like them as well. He's further away and has his hood up, so it's hard to say for sure, but from what I can tell, we might have a glitch in the Matrix triplet situation on our hands. What do you think though? Just a coincidence that these doppelgangers just happen to find themselves in the same place at the same time, or was there a glitch in the simulation? Just what in the hell is going on here? Have you ever seen clouds formed with a perfect straight edge like this? Prince 10,001 posted this picture to Reddit and it got a lot of people talking, with the top comment reading, "It's official, we're living in Minecraft." It really does look like the sky in an early 2000s video game that just hasn't finished rendering yet. Like if you were to continue walking closer to those clouds, more would suddenly form out of nowhere on the horizon. Are we living in someone's janky computer game, or are these secret weather control experiments just getting really weird? It's such a surreal looking image, isn't it? It's like some godly entity flew up into the sky and just cut out a section of the clouds like they were trimming their hedges or something. Of course, there's also the possibility that this is just a Photoshop job, but if genuine, that would have been a very strange sight to see. Are you a superstitious person? Do you think stray black cats bring bad luck? If so, you'd probably have a heart attack seeing this. 4 black cats on 4 separate benches posted by Rage Millie with the heading Control-C plus Control-V as a reference to copy and paste. Adding to the weirdness, 3 of these cats are also sitting right at the end of their respective benches. The only odd one out is the one furthest away, and it's in motion, so who knows where it ended up finally sitting down. I gotta say, I love cats, but they can be pretty creepy at times. This may be one of those cases. I mean, it's also very cute, but definitely odd. Would you decide to sit on one of these benches, by the way? I'd be half expecting the cats to swarm me and then start pawing and biting as punishment for moving in on their turf. It's like they're a gang of cats. Once again, is this just a case of cats being weird, or did the program running our simulation just get a little lazy? Don't you hate it when something goes missing? You spend days looking for it, decide to finally replace it, only to have the original item show up again as if it glitched out of reality and then just randomly popped back in. Well, that's exactly what happened to this Reddit user. "Your average sprite." She posted this image here, with the caption reading, "My husband lost his $70 blade a few months ago. He looked everywhere and just assumed someone had stolen it. He bought another just like the old one. After a couple months, he wakes up today and finds the original sitting in the middle of his cushion on the couch, as if it never left." Super weird, but it's surprising how often this actually happens. The fact that you can look in every nook and cranny for something and then just have it reappear out of nowhere, it's insane. Some of these cases can definitely be chalked up to pranks or just not having looked as thoroughly as you thought, but there are those instances where you just scratch your head and go, I have no logical explanation for this. This next story is called The Disappearing Dog Walker, posted to Reddit by Jin is Equia, who writes, "The other day, coming home from work on my bicycle, it happened that as I approach the curb in front of my house, I see a guy walking his dog, approaching the same spot. So I do that mental calculation you do to avoid awkwardness, and I pull in and hurry a bit to get off the sidewalk onto my front path so I won't be in his way. As I'm picking up my bike to go upstairs, I'm sort of half waiting for him to go by to make sure, but he never did. I look up and down the block, but he's vanished, and there is literally nowhere he could have gone in that same time where I wouldn't still see him. So tonight I'm just doing stuff online, and I keep thinking I hear a cat outside. I looked out the door, nothing. Keep hearing it, so I look again. Across the street is what looks like the same guy walking his dog again. At 3 a.m. by the way. I glanced to one side for a moment and back. Dude is gone again. Not a trace. Stood and watched for a while, just not there. Nowhere he could have gone. I don't know what to think. Sometimes in video games, NPCs will show up in odd spots. They'll disappear into walls, they'll randomly float through the air, suddenly appear on roofs with no obvious access point. It's hilarious. Take these sheep here. What video game is this from, you ask? Well, none. This is a real piece of footage. The clip was posted to Reddit by user DocsHoax, who writes, "A man lost a flock of sheep and found them on the roof of the hayloft. How they got there is unclear. It all happened near Omsk. In the morning, the worker did not find his sheep in the usual place and went to look. The search result was surprising. All the artiodactyl roofers were found on the roof of the neighbor's hayloft. The owner assumed they were scared of something and climbed up. As a result, all the sheep were safely lowered to the ground." You know what would probably have me second guessing if the world around us really exists or not? If everything and everyone just suddenly stopped. This story is called Time Froze. It was posted to Reddit by Electronic Trust 481. I had just gotten off the bus and was waiting for my light to turn green. I had my headphones in, I was jamming out, and then the light finally turned green. None of the cars were moving, so I assumed there was an ambulance. I took one of the headphones out to listen, but I didn't hear any sirens, so I look around and not a single person or car is moving. This lasted about a minute. Finally, I figured, F it, I'm gonna go. And as soon as my foot hit the pavement, everyone starts moving again. The cars, the people. It was like time stopped, and I got this unsettling feeling in my stomach as if they were all waiting on me to make the first move. What made it even more unsettling was everything was quiet. You know how people say when everything goes silent in a forest in the woods, you run? It usually means something predatory is in there with you. That's what it felt like. I still have no explanation for what happened that day. This last video was posted to Reddit by Downtown Issue 1421, and while I'm not saying this is a genuine glitch in the Matrix situation, it is very strange. Notice something odd about this mall? Yeah, all the stores are for smartphones. Downtown Issue 1421 wrote, "I took a last-minute trip to Bolivia. Did the simulation not have enough time to render and just spawned every store in this mall in as smartphone stores?" It's a pretty weird video, and aside from the fact that quite literally, based on the parts of the mall you see in the clip anyway, every store is a smartphone store, there's also something eerie about the mall itself. It has that kind of bizarre, liminal, spacey kind of vibe about it. I just also wonder how all these places stay in business. Like, who's going to all these different cell phone shops? Is the entire mall just one big front for something? Kinda seems like it. Well, with all that said, I've been your host, James, and I'll catch you, yes you specifically, in the next video.